So you're considering a career as a real estate agent in the state of Maryland, but you just don't know where to get started. Well, in this video, we're gonna go over a step-by-step guide how to get your real estate license in the state of Maryland. And at the end of the video, we're also gonna go over how to pick the right brokerage once you get your license so you can set yourself up for success. Let's dive right into the video. Working as a real estate agent comes with many advantages, and you might be looking for a more flexible schedule, or maybe you're looking to get rid of the income cap that you have at your 9-to-5 job. I know when I got started with real estate, I wanted to get rid of my income cap and have as much earning potential as possible. So I took the quest and I became a real estate agent. So you might be looking to do the same thing. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go over a brief step-by-step checklist on how to get started. And then what we'll do is we'll dive deeper into each one of those things so you know exactly what to do to get your license. So how do you actually become a real estate agent in the state of Maryland? Well, you must be 18 years or older, and you gotta have a GED or a high school diploma. Then you're gonna complete 60 hours of your real estate pre-license classes, and these must be state-approved classes by the state of Maryland. Then it's time to complete your background check and schedule your real estate test with PSI exams. Then you gotta pass that test with a 70% score or higher. Finally, you're gonna pick your sponsoring broker and pick the right brokerage to work with, and then you're gonna submit your final license application. So before you start selling $1 million homes, you're gonna have to go through your coursework. And right now, it's about 60 hours of class time. So let's dive into some more detail on how to sign up for your real estate classes in Maryland. So you're gonna have to complete state-approved courses. And right now, you can do the classes in person, or you can do them on live stream via an online website like Real Estate Express. I highly suggest you check out Real Estate Express so you can do these classes at your own pace. So in the description, there's an affiliate link below. And right now the classes range anywhere between $250 and $400. Now these prices can change at any time, but they're fairly inexpensive to get started with. So once you complete your requirements, and that's the 60 hours, you're gonna wanna make sure you study hard and make sure that you really pay attention during class, because when you go take your test, you're gonna have to get a 70% score or higher. If you don't get a 70 or higher, you're gonna be forced to retake your test if you wanna get your license. Now you might be wondering, what are you actually gonna learn during your real estate pre-license classes? 60 hours is quite a bit of class time. Well, when I first started and I got my real estate license, a lot of the subjects were completely new. Everything was a whole new language per se, because I didn't know much about real estate. And I did know quite a bit about finance, but real estate was a whole new world. So depending on your experience in your previous career, it might be harder or it might be easier to digest and retain this knowledge. So here are some things that you're gonna learn during your 60 hours of pre-license class time. You're gonna learn real estate math, land use laws and regulations, fair housing laws, real estate financing laws, contracts, transfer of title, brokerage relationships, ethics, license law, rules of the Maryland Real Estate Commission, and agency laws. So this is really important. You're also going to learn some things about property analysis and how to come up with prices and help your clients price their houses for sale. Once you get done with that and you feel pretty confident about taking your exam, you're going to schedule with PSI exams. Now, these exams must be scheduled in advance, so if you want to take your test, make sure you call in advance and schedule a time. You can't just walk into the center anytime you want and take the test. You actually have to call and get placed on their calendar. Another thing to keep in mind, that this is not an open book test, so you have to retain the knowledge that you study during your classes and during your study time, because you can't walk into the testing center with a book and go through it as you take the test. This test is not open book, so it's a little bit more challenging. Now you might be asking, what's the best way to study for the exam to give yourself the highest chances of passing? Well, I use a tool called Prep Agent. And Prep Agent is a tool that allows you to pretty much go through test-like simulations and test yourself on the exam. And they're very similar questions to what you're gonna see on the actual real estate exam. And this helps you get familiar with them, and it will help you realize where you stand. Are you really knowledgeable in certain categories, or do you need work in other categories? And Prep Agent will kind of outline everything for you and get you prepared to take the test and pass. In fact, Prep Agent is so confident that you're going to pass the exam after using their study tool that they offer a 100% money guarantee, and they refund you the money that you spent on the product if you fail. So you pretty much have no risk with this product, and if you don't use a study tool and you just want to do it yourself, you can definitely pass. But this will just give you a little bit of an edge, and it will give you a little bit more confidence going into your test. Now you might be wondering, how long do you actually have to complete your real estate exam? Many people rush through the exam because they think they're going to run out of time. In reality, you have quite a bit of time to actually complete your exam. There are actually two portions of the exam. You have the general national portion of the exam, which is 90 minutes, and then you have a state portion, which is 30 minutes. So you have 120 minutes to complete the exam. In total, there's about 110 questions that you're gonna have during the exam. So don't stress, you have plenty of time to get this done. In fact, many people finish their exam early, and the ones that rush through it probably would have passed if they just took the time to read each question a couple times before submitting their answer. So pass or fail, how long does it actually take for you to get your results? Well, the good news is, as soon as you walk out of the testing center, you're going to get the results and you're gonna know if you passed or if you failed. Now, if you failed, you can retake the test. Just keep in mind that you're gonna be charged a fee to retake the test. At this current time, it's about $44 to retake the exam. So if you fail, don't be too upset. You're just gonna have to invest a little bit more money and a little bit more time studying to go back and pass the exam. But stay positive. Some of the most successful agents in my market failed the exam multiple times. So if you do fail the exam, it doesn't mean real estate's the wrong fit for you. It just means you need to study a little bit harder and go back and swing the bat again. So don't show up on test day just to be turned down. You might be asking, what do you have to bring to the testing center on test day? Well, you have to bring two forms of identification. And things that count as identification are the following. Driver's license, you could bring a US Social Security card, you could bring your passport, you could bring a debit card with signature, you can bring a credit card with signature, or you could even bring a green card. Also know that you could bring a non-scientific calculator for the math portion of the real estate exam. Once you get through the exam, it's time to do your background check. Now, doing your background check is basically a fingerprint check, and they want to check and see if you have any criminal record. At this time, it's about $31.25 to get this background check done, and it usually takes about 3 or 4 days for them to process and get back to you with the results. Now, if you do have a criminal record, you're gonna have to go before the board and see if they're willing to make an exception and allow you to get your license. But in general, if you have a clean record, you should be okay. You have to go through the process and get approved. So in total, how long will it actually take you to get your real estate license? Well, it's gonna take you between 3 and 6 months, depending on how fast you go. You're gonna have to complete your pre-licensing classes, you're gonna have to take time to study, you're gonna have to get your background check, and you're gonna have to pick a sponsoring broker and then finally submit for your license application and get approved before you can actually get out there and start selling real estate. Now, some people complete this process a lot quicker, other people take more time. It just depends how motivated you are and how much work you put in every single day working towards getting your real estate license. So how much does it actually cost to get your real estate license? The good news is, in Maryland, it's not that much money to get started. We estimate that it's going to cost you anywhere between $750 and $1,000 to get started with getting your real estate license. Here are a couple of the fees that you're going to have when you go to get your license. You're going to have about a $31.25 background check fee. You're going to have a $44 fee to take the real estate exam. Pre-license courses will range anywhere from $250 to $400 depending on the deals that are currently going on at the time. Again, check the link below for Real Estate Express. They have some really good live real estate classes that you can sign up for, and they often have deals going on these classes, so definitely check it out. They do a great job with their real estate education. Then you're gonna have $90 for a Maryland real estate license application fee. And then finally, if you want to do Prep Agent and use that study tool to practice for your real estate exam, I would allocate another $100 to your budget to get that tool. Now keep in mind that all these amounts are subject to change. Prices go up, prices go down. This is just an average to give you a ballpark idea of how much it's going to cost for you to get your license. Now you might be asking, does Maryland have any reciprocity with the real estate licensing with other states? And Maryland actually does have 2 reciprocity agreements with other states. Those states are Pennsylvania and Oklahoma. Next, we're going to go into how to choose the right brokerage as a new agent. If you didn't know, 87% of new real estate agents actually fail out of the business within the first couple years. Now, to avoid being a statistic like this, and if you want to have a successful career, it's important to pick the right brokerage right out the gate. Because I know that you probably have a certain amount of money saved, to put towards this and become successful in a certain window of time. And if you start your career on the wrong foot, it will be a lot more difficult to get going and make a sale right away so you can start getting an income and start reinvesting and paying your bills. So picking the right brokerage is super important. So I want to go over how to pick the right brokerage and what things to ask and what things to look out for. The first thing is training. You want to get involved with a brokerage that offers good training and they offer a mentorship program that has a high success rate. You want to ask questions like, what does the mentorship program look like? What does success look like in the mentorship program? And how many houses am I expected to sell while on this program? So this will give you a really good idea and figure out what the expectations are and see if they line up with your expectations. You also want to find out who your mentor is going to be and how much access on a daily basis you're going to have to that mentor. You also want to find out how structured is this program? Do they have a step-by-step guide that's going to help you get started? Or is it kind of just like, hey, there's an experienced agent in the office. If you need something, call them. Those are 2 very different things. And are they going to keep you accountable to your goals and your mission as being a successful agent? These are all things you want to ask, because a lot of brokerages will just tell you that they have a mentorship program and it's very disorganized, and they do this because they want you to come to their brokerage and they want you to be successful, but they just haven't spent the time to set up this program, and they might not have the right things in place for you to have the highest probability of succeeding as a new agent. Next is commission splits. Don't focus so much on commission splits, because if you don't sell any houses, you don't have to worry about the split. So many agents get hung up on commission splits and they end up at brokerages that probably were not the best fit, but they're there for the commission split. And believe me, I did this too when I first started, and fortunately it worked out and I pushed through the hard times. But not every brokerage with a low commission split is going to be right for you as a new agent. Now, fortunately, the brokerage that I was with was a great fit, and they did have training and they did have programs in place. But going down the trap of just hunting for commission splits can be a very dangerous thing to do as a new agent, because the most important thing in your mind should be training and growing, because if you don't sell houses, the split doesn't matter. Next is any ongoing monthly fees. So just like gym memberships, a lot of brokerages have monthly fees for you to be a part of that company. Now, if you're a new agent and you only have a certain amount of money saved, this might be a big deal for you, because every month they're going to chip into that savings and you're going to have less and less time to make this career work and to get your business off the ground. So I wouldn't discount any brokerages that have monthly fees. I would still definitely look into them, because there's a lot of great brokerages that offer great training that do have these fees, but you want to account for it and you want to make sure that you can afford to stay there long enough to give yourself a chance to get your business off the ground and find some success. So commission cap, you want to actually find out what commission cap is at that brokerage, if they have any at all. And basically what this means is when you pay a certain amount of money to the brokerage out of your commission splits, that they no longer take a split out of your commission. Now, this is not the most important thing, again, because when you're launching your career, it's all about learning, mentorship, and growth. Because let's face it, most agents only sell a couple houses per year, and you don't want to be a person that's full-time selling a couple houses a year if you're really trying to do this at a big level. You want to focus on training, and you want to focus on, really learning so you can set yourself up for success. Becoming a real estate agent in Maryland is a great goal to work towards. So if you're looking to get your license, you just have to work hard and consistently work towards that. And if you fail, don't worry about it. Just take your exam again and study a little bit harder. But at the end of the day, if you really want to sell houses in Maryland and you really want to make this career work, you can do it. So stay positive, and if you like real estate content geared towards real estate entrepreneurs, definitely hit the like button and subscribe to this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and have an awesome day.